Welcome to Deep Dive. So, if you're trying to keep track of U.S. immigration policy or maybe making international travel plans for 2026, you've probably seen, well, tons of headlines. New fees, big policy shifts. It feels pretty messy out there, right?
It really does.
We're talking about potentially huge changes for U.S. visas and immigration, affecting everyone from, tourists right through to highly skilled workers. So our goal today, our mission for this deep dive, is to give you a clear map, help you sort through it all. We want you to be able to quickly tell the difference between what's actually confirmed law now, what's just a proposal still being debated, and frankly, what might just be noise or rumor.
Yeah, knowing what's certain is crucial, especially for planning.
Exactly. You need to know where to focus and maybe more importantly, where to budget. Okay, let's get into it.
Right, and that certainty. The most solid change we have comes from Public Law 11921. That was signed back in July 2025. And this law basically adds a whole new financial layer to most non-immigrant visas.
A new layer. So not replacing old fees, but something extra.
Exactly right. The main thing here is the new Visa Integrity Fee. Let's call it the VIF.
VIF, got it.
And the crucial point for you to understand is that this VIF is strictly additional. It doesn't replace the standard machine-readable visa fee, the MRV fee, that people already pay.
So two separate charges, potentially?
Correct. And the law, Public Law 11921, sets the minimum for this VIF. It's $250 for fiscal year 2025.
Minimum $250.
Minimum. And this is a really big, but the law allows the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, to actually set it higher. They can do that through new rules later on.
So the $250 is just the starting point, potentially.
That's just the floor. And for anyone planning long-term budgets, this next part is key.
Okay.
This fee isn't fixed. Starting in fiscal year 2026, so next year, the VIF gets indexed for inflation.
Inflation index, like the cost goes up automatically.
Precisely. It's tied to the Consumer Price Index, the CPI.
Yeah.
So baked right into law is a mechanism for this fee to just tick upwards year after year. It's a permanent, built-in annual increase.
Wow, okay. So $250 minimum to start, plus it goes up every year. The big question then is, what about refunds? If you pay this VIF and say your plans change or maybe your visa gets denied, can you get that money back?
That's the tough part. Refunds are going to be incredibly difficult to get.
Really?
Yeah, waivers are very limited too. And getting a refund, well, it looks like a really long and complicated process. You can only even apply for it after the visa itself is expired.
Wait, after it expires, why so late?
It seems tied to that integrity part of the name. You need to provide really solid proof that you fully complied with all the visa rules. Things like, proving you left the U.S. on time, showing you didn't work without authorization, or maybe proof you lawfully changed to another status while you were here. The exact details on how they'll implement this are still coming from DHS, but the message seems pretty clear. Once you pay it, you should probably assume it's non-refundable.
That puts a lot of weight on getting that initial application right. Okay, now this same law, 11921, it also hits travelers who normally don't need a traditional visa, right? People using the visa waiver program with ISTA.
That's right. They avoid the VIF, yes, but they don't escape costs from this law entirely. Public Law 11921 also bumps up the cost for ISTA, the electronic system for travel authorization.
How so?
The law adds a new component to the ISTA fee. It's described as not less than $13.
Not less than. So a similar story to the VIF, that $13 is just the minimum increase.
Exactly. It's the floor. And just like the VIF, the total ISTA fee will also be tied to the Consumer Price Index, starting in fiscal year 2026.
So regular VWP travelers need to budget for ISTA costs going up every year, too.
That's the takeaway. Permanent annual increases are coming there as well.
And we see the same pattern with EVUS, the Electronic Visa Update System.
Correct again. EVUS, which mainly affects certain B visa holders, specifically B1, B2 visitors from the People's Republic of China who have to enroll.
Right.
They're getting a new mandatory fee too. Starts at a $30 minimum in FY 2025. And guess what?
Let me guess. CPI index from FY 2026.
You got it. Annual inflation hikes are baked in. And for EVUS, the law says explicitly, no waivers.
No waivers at all.
None. So the common thread here, VIF, ST, EVUS, it's the certainty of higher costs for almost everyone coming to the U.S. starting next year.
Okay, that definitely sets an expensive baseline. Now, moving away from those brand new fees in the law, what about policies that are already happening now or things employers definitely need to budget for immediately? I'm thinking about visa bonds.
Yes, visa bonds. That's a live policy. People need to know this isn't just a proposal, it's happening.
Okay.
Based on specific country lists from the State Department, certain people applying for B visas, tourist, or business visas are being required to post a bond.
A financial bond.
Yes. It started rolling out during 2025. It only affects people from those specific designated countries, but if you're from one of them, you absolutely need to factor this possibility into your planning. It's not optional if you're selected for it.
Got it. And shifting to employers, what about the H-1B lottery? Companies planning for the next cap season, they need a solid number for that initial registration fee, right?
They do, and
Yeah.
we have it. USCIS has confirmed the final H-1B registration fee. It's $215 for the fiscal year 2026 cap season.
$215, okay.
And it's really important to be clear here. This is just the fee to enter the lottery, the registration fee.
Right, not the big petition fee later.
Exactly. It's totally separate from the much larger filing fee you pay if your registration gets selected. But employers should definitely have this $215 figure locked into their budgets for the upcoming H-1B season right now.
Makes sense. Okay, so those are the confirmed laws, the set fees, the active policies. But that's only part of the picture, isn't it? Let's talk about the big unknowns, the high-stakes proposals that could really shake things up for future applicants if they go through. These are the ones still kind of floating out there in regulatory land.
Yes. And the first big one involves the H-1B selection itself, beyond just that registration fee we mentioned.
Okay, what's DHS proposing?
They've put forward a major proposal for what they call weighted selection for those cap subject H-1Bs. The idea is to move away from the current system, which is basically random lottery.
Weighted selection. So not random, it would favor certain applications.
That's the idea. The weighting would be designed to favor H-1B registrations based on things like higher proposed wages and perhaps specific skill sets. The argument from DHS is this would better align the program with, attracting top-tier talent, but it would be a fundamental shift in how companies strategize for the cap.
I can imagine. Wouldn't that tempt employers to maybe inflate salary offers just to get a better chance in the lottery? Is that a concern?
That's definitely one of the big concerns that came up when they asked for public comments. It could add a whole new layer of complexity for employers.
But critically, this isn't law yet.
Absolutely not. It's crucial to stress. This is still just a proposal. It was published in the Federal Register for comments, but the final rule hasn't been issued. So for now, the random lottery is still the system in place. This weighted idea is not active yet.
Okay, good clarification. Now, the other really huge potential change involves students and exchange visitors, F, M, and J visas.
Yes.
This proposal would get rid of duration of status, or DS. That concept feels like it's been around forever, changing, it seems. Well, huge.
It's arguably the most potentially disruptive proposal on the table right now. For decades, FMJ visa holders have been admitted for duration of status,
Oh, yeah.
DS.
Which means
It means as long as you stay enrolled in your school or program, follow the rules, maintain your status, your permission to be in the U.S. continues. It's basically open-ended until you finish your program or studies. You only really need a new visa stamp if you travel outside the U.S. and need to re-enter.
Okay, so pretty flexible as long as you follow the rules. What's the proposal to replace that?
DHS and ICE have signaled they're working on a rule to end DS completely. They'd replace it with fixed admission periods, like maybe 2 years or 4 years, something specific.
Fixed terms. So what happens if your degree takes longer than 4 years?
Then you'd have to apply for an extension. Students, exchange visitors, they would need to proactively file extension applications if their program ran longer than their initial fixed term.
Wow. Imagine the paperwork. For students, for the school's international offices, for the government processing potentially millions of extensions.
Exactly. The administrative burden could be massive. And it really changes how status is monitored and maintained. It puts a much bigger sort of ongoing burden directly on the visa holder.
So a student could be halfway through their PhD, their fixed term expires, and suddenly they have to apply just to stay and finish. It completely flips how status works for them now.
It really does. It creates this new potential deadline, this cliff edge that doesn't exist currently. But again, like the H-1B weighted selection, this is still only at the proposal stage.
Still a proposal, okay.
No final rule text has been published, no effective date is set, but it's something everyone involved with international education is watching very, very closely.
Understandably. Okay, that helps draw the line between what's done and what's still being considered. Let's switch gears slightly and tackle some of the confusion out there. We've seen claims floating around online that just don't match up with official information.
Yes, and in times like these, with so much change, confusion can spread fast. It's important to address what's not confirmed.
Okay, what's the first big point of confusion?
First, be very skeptical of any list you see claiming to have the exact dollar amounts for every single visa type increase for 2026. Beyond those minimums we discussed for VIF, ESTA, and EVUS.
Right, the $250, $30 plus $30 plus ADR.
Exactly. Beyond those floors set by the law, there is no official published list with the final 2026 fees for, say, an L1 visa or an O1 visa. Those final totals depend entirely on the implementation rules that DHS and the State Department still need to publish.
So if someone sees a detailed chart online today with 2026 fees,
Treat it with extreme caution. Wait for the official government publications.
good advice. And what about that other rumor that caused quite a stir, especially among employers, the one about needing a huge chunk of money with H-1B petitions?
Ah, yes. That one is definitely just a rumor. There is absolutely no reliable government source, no policy document, no official alert confirming any claim that USCIS now requires some kind of massive lump sum payment, like $50,000 or $100,000, to be submitted along with a standard H-1B petition.
So completely unfounded.
Completely unfounded based on everything we can verify. That seems like misinformation, frankly, maybe designed to cause panic. Stick to the facts. The only confirmed H-1B fee change right now is that $215 registration fee.
Okay, that's very clear. So as we wrap up this deep dive, let's try to summarize. What are the absolute key takeaways for you, the listener, to focus on in the coming months?
Okay, the core message really boils down to two things. Certainty about increased costs and the need to track two major proposals.
Certain costs pending proposals.
Exactly. The costs you know are coming and absolutely need to budget for are that new visa integrity fee, VIF, the mandatory ESA increase, the new EVUS fee, and that confirmed $215 H-1B registration fee. Those are certainties.
Got it.
Then the two huge policy proposals you absolutely need to keep watching are, one, the potential shift to a weighted H-1B selection system, moving away from the pure lottery, and two, the potential end of duration of status, DS for F, M, and J visa holders, replacing it with fixed terms.
So watch those two proposals closely.
Very closely. And the next critical step for everyone is to look out for the actual implementation notices from DHS and the State Department. Those notices will give us the final details, the start dates, the final dollar amounts for fees beyond the minimums, and how these things will actually work in practice.
That really helps create a roadmap through all this complexity. It's clear that planning for 2026 means understanding not just the definite costs, but also keeping a very close eye on these potential policy shifts. So definitely keep tracking those upcoming government notices.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Thanks for breaking that all down.
All the best.
We will meet again with another important matter again.